red hot right now. The Tigers found that out the hard way last night to try and put up 10 on the and they now have 5 players with 40 or more RBIs this season. Tonight, the Tigers will try and slow down this Tribe offense. Nice night for baseball. Welcome to Cleveland. Game 2 featuring the Tigers and the Indians. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us for Game 2 in this series. Tigers trying to slow down what has become a juggernaut, Rod. This offense for the Indians, red hot last night, and we saw last night how good they can be.
You know, it's a well-constructed baseball team Terry Francona has. I mean, they got a couple of really good switch hitters at the top of their lineup. They got power in the middle. They got some speed. Rajay Davis back in there. This is a pretty good baseball team, and it's had its way right here against the Tigers. Somehow, some way, the Tigers have got to match their intensity, their energy, and try to win at least one game in this series.
This might not be the best team for Francisco Liriano to face coming off the disabled list, but that's the way the schedule goes, and he'll try and slow him down tonight.
Yeah, he's a good big league pitcher. I mean, you think back to his first 7 starts in a Tigers uniform. He gave up 3 runs or less in all of those starts. He's got the fastball that gets up to 94. He'll move that all around the strike zone. He also has a really good slider. I mean, his slider is probably his best pitch. That's the one he gets left-handers out with. As a matter of fact, left-handers hitting only 100 in the career against Francisco Liriano. And when not throwing those 2 pitches, he goes to his 3rd best pitch. He's got a changeup, and he kind of throws it like a fork ball. It dances in the strike zone east and west, and that's how he's been going about his business this year. They thoroughly missed him for the 3.5 weeks that he was off, but he's back now. Let's hope that he can go out and have a quality start for his ball club tonight.
You know, there was a time when Trevor Bauer did not scare the Tigers at all, but in the last 3 starts he's made against Detroit all of this season, he has dominated.
He's always been good. I mean, this guy was a number 2 player chosen in the country when he came out of UCLA. And the way that he used to pitch against the Tigers, lots of fastballs, that's not the case anymore. He will throw you the fastball. It's in the mid-90s to the upper 90s, but he also has a huge, huge weapon, which is his curveball, and that's the pitch that he's been lethal with. You look at his numbers in his last 7 starts, a 1.99 ERA, and he's punching out 13 per 9. So it's going to be a long night tonight for the Tigers if Bauer's got his good stuff tonight. But Lloyd McClendon said his team simply has to buckle the seatbelts. They have to get in the batter's box, and they have to figure out a way to compete with this guy because they really haven't competed against him all year. You got to somehow, some way, make this guy uncomfortable on the mound tonight.
And we will buckle our seatbelts as well here tonight. Game 2 in the series coming up after a short break. We'll send you to the Call Sam Studios, and we'll check in with John Keating. Coming up in this one tonight, it is Game 2. Tigers trying to get the bats going. Tigers and Tribe coming up next from Cleveland. The series, Tigers and the Indians squaring off here tonight. And on the mound for the Tribe, it'll be Trevor Bauer, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Well, Trevor Bauer should make an all-star team this year. That's just how well he's pitched. 6-5 with a .250 earned run average. He's up to about 11 strikeouts per 9. His base on balls are down, and that's why he's having so much success.
Well, the Tigers trying to do something they've not been able to do all season long against Bauer, and that's at least get some runs, get some wins. They have not been able to beat him this year. He has been mighty good, to be sure, against the Tigers. The Twins did most of the scoring last night, winning it 10-0. Tigers trying to get the bats going here tonight. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For Ron Gardenhire tonight, you got Leonis Martin leading off, followed by Candelario and Castellanos. Victor Martinez, your DH. Nico Goodrum is at first in place of Hicks. McCann will catch in the bottom three of Jones, Iglesias, and Machado. So Trevor Bauer, who's having an all-star type season, ready to go to work.
And Bauer has a fastball that will register at about 95. Every now and then it gets up to 97, sometimes 98. His curveball is an outstanding breaking ball. He can really spin it. He gets lots of swings and misses on that curveball. He also has a slider and a changeup. So Trevor Bauer has 4 pitches, and he'll use all 4 of them at any point in time.
Earlier start tonight, so the sun is still shining here at Progressive Field as we get you ready for baseball. It's Leonis Martin standing in for the Tigers. And here we go. The first pitch of tonight's game is a strike call. Martin was 0 for 3 in the opener last night. Not too many Tigers had a whole lot of luck. They managed only 5 hits in the opener. Now Bauer with the 0-1. 0-2 on Martin.
And the kid that they ran into last night, the 23-year-old Jason Bieber, was outstanding against the Tigers, making only his 3rd major league start.
0-2 on Martin, batting .257 with 9 home runs. And he'll look at a ball outside, 1-2. There's Bieber, who last night threw 7 innings, 4 hits, and he struck out 9, many of those in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, we were wondering how he got so many swings and misses on his fastball. We later learned that the Tigers hitters were talking about how that ball had an explosion in the strike zone. His fastball did.
Bauer has gone to 2-2 now on Martin. Candelario and then Castellanos to follow. It is 73 degrees at game time, but still a little bit muggy and humid. And a ball inside to Leonis, 3-2.
And it looks like they're going to have another sellout here tonight. They had a sellout last night.
Fireworks show after the ball game last night here in Cleveland. Another good gathering here tonight. 3-2 is strike 3 called. Martin now is going to beef with Walcott, the home plate umpire. He did not like that call one bit.
Well, Martin was beefing with the third base umpire, Kerwin Danley, after his first at-bat last night. He thought that Perez pulled that ball up. We've talked about Perez and also Gomes ad nauseum. The fact that they handle the glove very well, and they've been known to steal some strikes for their pitchers.
Here is Jeimer Candelario.
And there may have been an example of Perez pulling that ball up in the strike zone, getting the call from Quinn Walcott.
Jeimer at 248 on the year, looks at a strike, 0-1. Candy last night was 0 for 4 with 11 homers on the year. Trying to hold up, but he went around. Easy call there for Kerwin Danley, 0-2. You mentioned all the swings and misses last night for the Tigers against Bieber, and the guy on the mound tonight will rack up a few. Bauer. 1-2 now on Candy.
Yeah, Bieber, he got the Tigers to swing and miss at 17 of his 97 pitches.
Carrasco on the DL, and he has stepped up nicely for them.
And again, the best job in baseball the night after throwing a really good game, a starting pitcher just kind of relaxing in the dugout.
Yep, get your work done, get all your running done, get all your weights done, eat a nice meal, and just come out and chill with your teammates.
Tigers really didn't have too many opportunities last night to score. They did have a couple of double play balls that thwarted possible rallies. Bauer ahead 1-2. Pulled foul down the right field line. Bauer, 27 years old, hails from Hollywood, California. He has gone over 100 pitches in every start that he has made this year, and that is 15 starts. So he's the guy that likes to hang around. Swing and a miss. Candelario is out of there, and Bauer starts this one with a pair of strikeouts.
And while we have a moment, let's set the Cleveland Indians defensive alignment behind Trevor Bauer. Brantley, Davis, Geyer in the outfield. Davis and Geyer, they get most of their reps against left-handed pitching. Eric Gonzalez at third. Lindor is at shortstop. Kipnis at second. Encarnacion is at first today, and Roberto Perez is the catcher.
There's the former Tiger, Rajay Davis, getting the call in center. Tyler Naquin played last night. Lefty on the mound today, so Davis gets the call. Castellanos was 1 for 3 last night. Average hovering around 300. It's at 302 with 41 driven in. Bauer's 1-0 is a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. Castellanos has done some of his best work here at Progressive Field. .318 over the years. And he'll go 3-0 now. Victor Martinez on deck. Three and 1 now on Castellanos. Indians are 5-0 against the Tigers at home this year, and they've outscored them badly too. 28-5 in the games they played in this ballpark. Here's the 3-1 pitch and a strike in the outer edge. Castellanos was headed to first. Another borderline call. And again, it appeared that Perez stole that one. 3-2. Walked in, ball 4. Bauer went straight out there again, but missed that time. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Victor Martinez.
And big shift on Victor. Kipnis, the second baseman, playing about 25 steps into the outfield grass in right field. And Lindor, the shortstop, also on the outfield grass.
Driven toward right field on a line. It's going to drop, base hit. Castellanos is on his way to third. He will make it. It's a single for Victor, and the Tigers with a 2-out threat.
That's one of the things that we were talking about in the pregame show today. The Tigers have been very aggressive with their base running all season long. And that's the one thing that you can't control. You cannot control the hits. You cannot control your pitching sometimes. But your base running and your aggressiveness you can control. Nicholas knew he could get to third base and did need help from Dave Clark to tell him to do so.
Here is Nico Goodrum. So after 2 strikeouts, Bauer with a walk and now a single. Nico last night was 0 for 3 in the game. He'll bend one in there for a strike on the outside corner. You can tell by the body language of Goodrum, he did not like that call. 7 homers this year for Nico. Pulled foul just outside of the bag at first. 0-2.
Only a couple of teams in Major League Baseball have gone from first to third more aggressively than the Tigers this year. The Cubs and the Cincinnati Redlegs.
It's a pretty telling stat right there to illustrate your point. And now Goodrum trying to make good on a couple of base runners.
And Tigers must score here in the first inning. It seems like every time they've come here the last couple of years, the Indians score first in the game. It's a nice block there by Perez. That ball bounced in front of home plate.
He got a fortuitous bounce right into the chest protector. One and two. And that is going to hit it. So Goodrum is drilled on a 1-2 pitch. That's going to load the bases.
Curveball got him right on the left knee.
Nico shaking it off, walks down to first base. They're loaded up now. It'll bring up James McCann, so a very sluggish start for Bauer here after striking out 2 batters. Walk, single, and a hit by pitch. Now McCann trying to deliver the big hit. Mac 1 for 3 in the opener last night. And Bauer already up to 24 pitches. And McCann looks at a strike. 96 on the outer edge, and now McCann having a chat with Quinn Walcott.
I guess it's going to be one of those kind of nights tonight.
It has started this way. Hopefully Liriano will get the benefit of the borderline calls as well. Be nice to get Francisco some early offense here. One ball and 1 strike. Mentioned that Bauer has gone 100 pitches or more in every start this year. He's well on his way to doing that again tonight. 26 already. He will average 109 per start. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Now the crowd's starting to get behind Bauer. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. McCann down on strikes, and the Tigers leave him loaded in the first. Bases loaded in the first. Here come the Indians now. They will face Francisco Liriano, presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Francisco spent nearly a month on the disabled list with a hamstring injury, but when he was pitching very well for the Tigers. Usually Francisco gives the Tigers a legitimate chance of winning while he's out there. Let's hope he can do that here this evening against a very hot Cleveland Indians ball club.
And here's their lineup tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Lindor, Brantley, and Ramirez, your top three. Encarnacion is batting cleanup. Rajay Davis in center, Brandon Gyers in right, Kipnis, Perez, Gonzalez rounded out for the Tribe. Liriano goes to work, and his first one is a strike on the outer edge. Francisco Lindor homered in the ball game last night. The 0-1 pitch. It'll miss outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lindor last night 1 for 3 with that homer. He is hitting .375 versus lefties this year. Pulls this one on the ground deep in the hole. Tough play for Iglesias. One hopper. Not in time. Lindor beats it out. Iggy did all he could there. Infield single.
Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. Jones, Martin, Castellanos in the outfield. You know that Jose Iglesias is at shortstop. Candelario's at third. Dixon Machado back out there at second today. Nico Goodrum slides over to first, and James McCann starting catcher for the first 2 games of this 3-game weekend series.
Here is Michael Brantley. Picked up a double and an RBI in the ball game last night. Off the outside corner. Liriano wanted that one, didn't get it.
Yeah, this Cleveland Indians team will run, and Francisco is one of those guys that will steal a base. He's got 10. He's been caught twice this year, and so Francisco needs to pay attention to Lindor, excuse me.
Sprayed foul down the left field line. Brantley having a marvelous year. .314 batting average, 11 home runs. He has always been a pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching. This year no different. .288. It'll miss low and away. 2-1 the count. Not bad at home either, huh? .350.
They're splits, man. I don't know what it is with this Cleveland Indians team, but if you look at some of their batting averages at home versus the road, I mean, some of them it's a 100-point split. Well, it's ridiculous. Really, it is.
Missed again. Now 3-1.
And the pitching staff, their splits aren't as extreme, but their numbers are much better here at Progressive as well.
Waiting on deck is Ramirez. He is DHing tonight, so an off night for him of sorts. 3-1 is outside, ball 4, and now 2 men on with nobody out for Cleveland.
And here's how they get it done. At home opposed to the road. They aren't a great road team. Their numbers up and down. And they're really good when they play at Progressive Field, averaging nearly 6 runs a game here.
Well, Terry Francona certainly watches his team and enjoys watching his team play at home. When you get to the postseason, though, or deep in the year, you got to win some road games. That can be a little bit concerning. Ramirez looks at ball 1. Interesting to see how Liriano is going to fare here tonight, coming off the DL. He hadn't pitched in a big league game since May 26th. So it's been almost a month on the DL for Francisco. The 1-0. 2-0. issues at times have been or walks rather, been an issue for Liriano. He had 29 coming in 57 2/3 innings. Line to center field, a base hit. Lindor rounding third. He'll come around. Here comes the throw. It's up the line. Throw down to third. The tag. Got him. It'll be a single and an RBI for Ramirez. Brantley tried to get the third, and McCann cut him down.
A breaking ball down the bottom of the strike zone, hit right back up the middle by Ramirez. Martin comes up, fires over the cutoff man's head, and that's when James McCann realized they weren't going to get the out at home plate, so he came to meet the baseball, and he fired the ball down to third base to get that out. But Ramirez, who hit the ball, was able to get himself in a scoring position.
It'll bring up Encarnacion now with one out, a run in, and a strike called on the outer edge. Talking about that play with McCann earlier this year, it happened another time earlier this season. There's a pickoff throw that nearly sails into center field. It's a great stop there by Machado. But McCann was saying that play right there is pretty much a field play. You've got to take into account the runner, whether or not you're going to get the guy at home plate. If not, step in to throw and then throw down to the bag. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, both times he's done it to perfection. I believe he did it one time at home, throwing down to second base on a throw from right field.
Encarnacion homered in the ball game last night. Finished 2 out of 5 and knocked in 3. Another pickoff throw. This one a little bit closer. Where does the signal come from on this play?
Usually it comes from the middle infielder that notices that the base runner is inching his way off the bag too far.
Way inside. That'll get away. McCann throws down and throws it into the outfield, but it's backed up.
And these guys play aggressive baseball. And they just keep coming at you. That'll go as a wild pitch. McCann finds it, but not before Ramirez with a great break from second base, able to get over to third and really without a play. Yeah, but the sign usually comes from the shortstop or the second baseman. It could be something as simple as throwing some dirt in the direction of the pitcher just to get his attention. And once you get his attention, he kind of knows what you want to do.
Infield in now. Way inside again in his back foot. 3-1. Tigers trail 1-0. A runner at third with one away. Ooh. 10 of the 15 have missed the strike zone so far. Chop foul, 3-2.
Well, one of the things that Ron Gardenhire knows regarding Liriano, because he's had him for so many years, they were together in Minnesota. They know that the pitch count is going to be way up there because he's one of those guys that picks and chooses who he wants to pitch to. There's not a lot of first pitch strikes. He expands the strike zone very well. He tries to get the team to chase. Unfortunately for him, this team right here not chasing.
Here's a base hit to center field. Encarnacion drives in a run. Ramirez comes in to score, and it's 2-0 Cleveland.
I don't know how many of you may have missed this, but it's our 1-800 Call Sam call of the game. As Rajay Davis strolls in, he's one that has a lot of fun. Hit by a pitch, did a cartwheel before he decided to go down to first base.
First of all, I'm glad he wasn't hurt.
What makes you think to do a cartwheel that quickly, though?
That's just the personality of Rajay Davis.
They love him in Cleveland. This is the second tour of duty in Cleveland. They let him go a couple of years ago after he helped them get to the World Series, but they brought him back this year.
And Davis looks at a strike.
One of the reasons why this Cleveland Indians team has stolen so many bases. Even though Rajay in his mid-30s, he's still one of the fastest players in the big leagues. keeps himself in great shape.
That'll go foul down the first baseline, and the count now is 0-2 on Davis. 2 runs in for the Indians here in the first. RBI singles for Ramirez and Encarnacion. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning now for Liriano. And it's going to go to the backstop. Encarnacion will walk to second.
This has not been a smooth start for Francisco. 2 wild pitches already and a hit batter.
Davis now with an RBI chance. Again, Liriano has not made a start since May 26th with that hamstring injury. Swing and a miss, and Rajay goes down. First strikeout of the ball game for Liriano. It'll bring up Brandon Guyer.
Much better location with that slider, and to get Rajay to swing over the top of it. He threw it at 85 miles an hour.
Guyer in right field tonight. Terry Francona going with his right-handed hitting lineup. And Guyer, although he has struggled 159, his specialty has been left-handed pitching. Wave and a miss, 0-2.
Terry Francona has gone from being a very young manager who used to really not have any notes that he would use to having a bulletin board over there at his disposal.
It'll bounce in. I think we're seeing that with most managers now in the big leagues. I think that's the way obviously the game has gone. It has turned that corner now, and even those that might be considered old school managers have all the numbers.
Had everything up there. I mean, he's steady looking at it, steady peeking at the numbers, steady peeking at the matchups, steady peeking at the defenses. Tigers have it as well. They just don't have it visible.
1-2.
Sluggish first here for Francisco.
Little looper in the air to center field. It'll drop, base hit. Martin charging. He'll throw it home. There's a play at the plate, and he's going to be out by a mile. Oh, he dropped the ball.
Kicked it right out of the glove.
He was out by a country mile, and Encarnacion will score after knocking it loose.
Martin has one of your better throwing arms from center field. I mean, that's an absolute clothesline. It's short hop McCann. He had it. He went down to tag Encarnacion, and the contact in between Encarnacion and McCann kicked the ball out of the glove. Actually, it's the right knee that made contact with the glove. Can't make this stuff up, partner.
You can't.
Can't make it up.
But he was out by, what, 10 feet?
Yeah, so does that go down as an error on the catcher then? Or is it, because usually if
Yep, single no RBI, E2.
Yeah, that was one.
I mean, that's an out right there, but McCann unable to hold on to the baseball, so he is charged with an error.
So does that go as an assist too, I would imagine? No?
That I'm not sure of. That, you know what, you're probably right on that. Bottom line is it's 3-0 now. Here's Kipnis. Little chopper to first base, foul. The other thing a play like that does that sometimes you don't realize is that it adds more pitches now to the pitch count for the starter.
And the flip side of that, Mario, is a play like that can kind of get you going from a Tiger standpoint. I mean, a big play like that is a play to get out. You're 2 runs, okay, maybe you get back in the dugout. You can still try to develop some momentum.
1-2 on Kipnis.
the hits today against Liriano are directly up the middle today, with the exception of the infield single to Iglesias off the bat of Lindor. They've got a really nice approach so far against him. Everybody basing up the middle. Base hit by Ramirez. Base hit by Encarnacion as well up the middle. Geyer up the middle.
A 30 pitch first inning. $16 of them strikes. Three runs, 4 hits, 2 wild pitches, and an error. That'll miss outside. 2-2 now on Kipnis. 5-game hit streak for the Indians' second baseman, who was 1 out of 4 last night. Had a double and scored a run. Down the left field line, foul. Not exactly what Ron Gardenhire was hoping for out of Liriano here. Not so much the 3 runs, but the fact that the pitch count is over 30 in this inning. The Tiger bullpen will be taxed again this evening. Now, Liriano is scheduled to go about 75-80, but he's gobbled up a good portion of that here in the first. Another foul back out of play.
Yeah, Liriano made 1 rehab start with AAA. It was on Sunday versus Louisville. He gave up 8 runs on 11 hits. He did have 7 strikeouts in that game. He lasted 4 innings, so it wasn't a great outing for Liriano, but a lot of times the managers aren't concerned with the numbers when you're making a rehab start. All they want to know is if you're healthy or not.
Off the plate. Now it's gone to 3-2.
And pitchers will tell you, guys like Liriano or any other veteran pitcher that goes down to the minor leagues and makes a start, they just hate it because those young kids are swinging. And they don't care that you've been in the big leagues for 10 years.
Can't win, can you?
No, you can't. They could care less who you are.
Runner goes on 3-2, and that is a walk, ball 4 on the check swing by Kipnis.
Well, Basio's going to have to make a visit. And the Tigers might just have to get somebody up here in the first inning. And both of those things are just about to happen here.
Baez making his way out to the mound. And the Tigers, who just called up Artie Lewicki, will have him begin to tune up in the pen. Sandy Barbado placed on the DL last night. Lewicki up. Eight men to the plate in this inning right now with Perez coming up. They have scored 3 runs. And Liriano has thrown 35 pitches. It's only gone over 100 once this year. In fact, earlier this year, he had a no-hitter in the 5th inning in a start here against the Tribe. That was back in April. Ominous clouds beyond the stadium here. Swing and a miss. Perez couldn't hold up. Gomes started last night. Perez tonight. He has been good against left-handed pitching, .364. One ball and 1 strike on the number 8 hitter, Perez. Outside 2-1, and Liriano just laboring now.
Yeah, he's falling behind nearly every single hitter that has gone to the plate here today. He's walked the 2 left-handed batters in the lineup for the Cleveland Indians, and he has dominated lefties all through his major league career.
3-1.
This will be his last batter, I think.
It's got to be. Because he's about to throw his 40th pitch. In the air toward right field. To the corner goes Castellanos, back to the track. It's going to carry all the way to the wall to finally end the inning. A 3-run first. Iglesias will bat second for the Tigers. Tigers are hosting the A's this Monday through Thursday at Comerica Park. Enjoy great savings with the weekday value pack. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and sodas for as little as $20 per person. Tigers.com/value for more info. It'll be a short 4-game homestand, so make sure you come out to the ballpark Monday through Thursday. And here come the Tigers now in the second. It'll be Jacoby Jones, Jose Iglesias, and Dixon Machado.
Bob Melvin swinging A's coming to town for 4-game series. Them A's can hit, man. They really can. A lot of power.
Here is Jones now getting it going against Bauer. And he looks at ball 1 high. When describing the first inning tonight, crisp is not a word I would use.
Yeah, Bauer, he wasn't very good either.
He threw 28. Liriano threw 40 pitches.
And we just couldn't score any runs.
Tigers left them loaded in the first. They had to walk a single and a hit batter. Slice to the right side. It's going to be knocked down by Kipnis, but he'll have no play. Infield hit for Jones.
And ball hit sharply by Jacoby. And Kipnis goes over to and field it, hits right off the heel of the glove. And then when he went to go pick it up, he looked, took one look at Jacoby to see where he was at, and then he couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. And you see that all the time by pitchers, catchers, infielders. They take one look at that base runner and then they don't pick the ball up as efficiently as they should. And they mishandle it, they don't get the out.
Here is Iglesias. 5-game streak now for Iglesias, 1 for 3 in last night's ball game. 274 batting average.
He's been consistent for a calendar month now. Lots of hits, getting on base just about every single game. Outstanding defensively.
Knocked down there as Bauer misses up and in. Yeah, he has been locked in on both sides of the baseball, and for Iglesias, welcome news because he was under 200 for most of April. Seven for 17 versus Bauer as well, so he has had his successes against Trevor Bauer. That is a .412 clip. Runner goes on 1-1, is up and in, throw down to second is not in time, stolen base. Number 7 for Jacoby.
And Jacoby had a really good jump off of Trevor Bauer. He basically stole that base off of the pitcher. And Bauer basically had forgotten about Jacoby. Jacoby able to swipe that bag.
Meanwhile, 2-1 on Iglesias. In the air towards center field, Davis on the run. Jacoby tagging up. He'll come to third base, and he's in there safely. One gone, that'll move the runner up 90 feet away from home plate now for Dixon Machado. Tigers last night were 0 for 5 with men in scoring position. Left the bases loaded in the first inning tonight. Now Machado a chance to drive in a run. Strike called 0-1.
And Bauer, like most pitchers in the big leagues, even though he has a fastball that will top out at 97. And usually when there's runners in scoring position, they simply go to their best breaking pitch.
Ooh, Machado late swing there, 0-2.
Fooled badly on that breaking pitch was Machado. That's something Bauer does very well. He can really spin that baseball. Very few can spin their curveball better than Bauer in the big leagues.
That'll get away and score a run. Tigers take advantage there, and a wild pitch by Bauer, and they're on the board. 3-1 ball game.
And Jacoby basically stole that run with his legs. He got an infield single. He stole second base. He got over to third on the fly ball, shallow center field to Rajay Davis, and scampered home on the wild pitch.
Now the 1-2 to Machado. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and there are 2 gone. That is 4 strikeouts already now for Bauer. Here's Leonis Martin. It brings us to our Bernstein advantage, and the numbers against Bauer are pretty striking. 7 for 12 against Trevor. A couple of extra base hits, although Bauer got him in the first.
It's a .583 batting average against Trevor Bauer. Bauer has always had really good stuff. Even when he first came to the Cleveland Indians from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Fastball in the mid-90s, good curveball, good changeup. He's always had great stuff since he left college. But he's just gotten more efficient. His walks per 9 have gone down. His strikeouts per 9 have gone way up. And basically that's what he's done to the Tigers, and that's one of the reasons why he's had success against the Tigers this year. And when you add in the fact that the lineup that he's seeing these days against the Tigers a little bit differently when they had Prince Fielder and Victor was younger and healthy Miggy, guys like that.
And Martin looks at a strike. We were talking about that Bauer curveball, and we were talking to Gardenhire before that. Not too many pitchers now have the curveball because a lot of guys are throwing sliders and cutters and more so that way. And I think Gardy said he thinks that might be because of the swing path now, the elevated swings that guys are taking with the launch angle. That curveball kind of plays right into that swing path.
I think guys pretty much started that last year, last couple of years. You kind of noticed that guys were throwing a lot more curveballs than sliders for that very reason.
2-2. That hit him on the hand, and Bauer has not been crisp at all tonight either. So he had 2 strikes on Martin, ends up hitting him. And now Doug Teeter will come out and take a look at Martin. That is the second hit batter for Bauer this evening.
And Leonis is in a considerable amount of pain, and you can understand why.
Indians want to make sure it hit his bat and not, or his hand rather, not the bat.
This is always one of the uncomfortable things for a manager to do. I mean, the guy just got hit in the hand, but as a manager, you want to come out and you want to talk to the umpire in a very casual way. I mean, you don't want to bring too much attention to yourself because you don't really want to wake the team up on the other side, especially the way the Indians been beating up on the Tigers lately. So managers will come out, but a lot of them really don't like going out, especially if they're beating up on them.
So Martinez aboard now for Candelario. Jamer struck out in the first. Tigers have answered with a run back here in the second. Bauer now is up to 44 pitches. Foul down the right field line.
And this might be one of those nights where Bauer doesn't stay out there for 7 innings. He's probably going to throw 100 pitches, but he might not get the innings that he's been getting for his team every start.
Well, it's not the Bauer we saw back on June 8th at Comerica. 8 innings, 1 run with 12 strikeouts. Although he has 4 of them early in this game in the strikeout column, he has not been nearly as crisp. The 0-1 to Jamer. Rolled foul, 0-2. Single steal fly ball and a wild pitch, getting the Tigers a run. Swing and a miss, and Candelario is out on strikes to end the inning. 5 strikeouts for Trevor Bauer. Tigers get a run back.
off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Indians batting in the bottom of the second here at Progressive Field. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Tigers down 3-1 as Liriano goes back to the mound. And he'll deliver ball 1 to Eric Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter.
And Liriano had no difficulty getting ahead of the Cleveland Indians in the very first inning, but subsequently fell behind 5 of the batters that he got ahead of. So he just didn't continue to attack the strike zone.
Well, we mentioned that error in the inning as well. Added 14 more pitches to the count of Liriano. That error, which should have been out number 3.
Ooh.
So that alone added some more stress. 2-1 now on Eric Gonzalez. Playing third base tonight. Ramirez DHing. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2 now on the number 9 hitter.
Good changeup there thrown by Liriano. Didn't use that changeup that often in the first frame.
Got him, strike 3, as Gonzalez was bending out of the way. He's caught looking.
Yeah, Liriano still has a really good four-seam fastball. Gets up to 94. That one was at 92, but located beautifully on the inside black.
Here's Lindor, who led it off with an infield single in the first. Ball 1. We're mentioning that start that Liriano made here in April. He had a no-hitter going into the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Single by Gomes, 2-run homer by Zimmer, and those were the only 2 runs of the game. Liriano lost the no-hitter and the game as well, but he pitched very well in that day.
Francisco has a couple of starts this year where he nearly threw a no-hitter.
The 2-0 is in the air to center field. Hit pretty good. Martin running back there to the warning track. 2 away. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll be selecting our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Jacoby out to a nice start in this one.
Yes, he is. Pretty good athlete. Good base runner. Stolen the base. Nice base hit the opposite way.
Brantley had a walk in the first. Little chopper slowly up the middle. Iglesias will flip him out, and a very quick 1-2-3 second, exactly what Liriano needed. Tigers. We've got Jose Ramirez and Nicholas Castellanos on this list. 300 average, 25 homers, 100 RBI in the last 162 games played. So basically a full baseball season, and those two guys in this series have done well.
Eden Rosario also on that list. Mike Trout, Correa, and Adrian Beltre.
So the Tigers batting in the third now. They've got Castellanos, Martinez, and Nico Goodrum. 3-1 ball game. Tribe in the lead, and a foul back out of play by Castellanos. Nick had a walk in the first, did not score. That was the inning. The Tigers loaded him up, but left him loaded. Now the 0-1. Bauer had a 28-pitch first inning. Here's the 1-1 offering. In the air to right field. Geyer is under it, and Castellanos is out, one away. Tigers are hosting the Rangers on Saturday, July 7th at 4:10. First 10,000 fans receive a Willie Horton 1968 50th anniversary bobblehead, courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go to tigers.com. Tiger fans coming out again in droves for this series. Cleveland a short jaunt down the freeway. Always get a lot of Tigers fans here.
Absolutely. All around the hotel. All over the downtown area.
Victor had a single in the first inning. Gardy was asked today about Victor in the DH slot and how he really has not performed all that well this year. But you know, Gardy did emphasize the fact that I mean, look at what is available to us right now in terms of our lineup with Cabrera out and the injuries they have had throughout the course of the year. But also the fact that Martinez, while he is not hitting for a lot of power, is still hitting the ball pretty hard and does give the Tigers some quality at bats. Last night he stung a ball up the middle that turned into a double play.
It's a nice play by Lindor on that play last night.
That'll miss high. 3-1 now on Victor. Launched in the air toward right field, going toward the line, long run, and caught before he hit the wall. Nice play by Brandon Geyer. 2 away.
And Geyer got a pretty good jump on this ball off the bat of Victor Martinez, and he kind of knew exactly where he was. He plays right field here quite often. And as soon as you get to that chalk, you know that wall is coming closely if you're a right fielder and a left fielder. And down either of the lines, that's kind of your barometer. That chalk line, that left field line, to let you know you're closing in on that wall.
0-1 on Goodrum. Oh, 2. Nico was down on the count his first at bat, had 2 strikes to the count, and then he was hit by the pitch. Bauer has hit 2 in this game. In fact, it was a couple of years ago. Oh, Bauer thought he had strike 3, was walking off the mound. He didn't even wait for it to be called.
Oh, no, he was 5 steps toward the dugout.
Well, that is not going to make Quinn Walcott happy. Look at this.
He'll apologize to Quinn Walcott when he walks off the mound after this half inning is over.
Three and two now. McCann on deck. Got him. Strike three. Nico is caught looking to end the inning. A 1-2-3 third for Bauer. Some big names talking home run derby when we come back. Harper, who is used to hitting home runs, has announced he will participate in the home run hitting contest, that home run derby. If he's voted to the All-Star team, he leads the National League with 19 home runs. So Bryce Harper says he'll be there. Now, Jose Ramirez tweeted this today. If I get invited to the home run derby, should I go? The two choices are yes, please, and shut up, you're only 5'9". What a great tweet by Jose Ramirez.
5'9", but boy, he plays like he's 6'5". He really does.
Well, Ramirez 22 home runs this year. He's got more than Harper does.
Harper might have a tough time making the All-Star team this year. I mean, his numbers are way down, especially in the month of June.
Ramirez, Encarnacion, and Rache Davis here in the third. Bani in the Dominican Republic, the hometown for Ramirez. He'll rifle that one foul down the third base line.
I think Harper also said that last year he'd been getting asked every single year, and I think he said last year at the home run derby that when the game was in his home ballpark that he would participate in it if he was an all-star.
What are your thoughts on the home run derby?
I've kind of liked the home run derby the last couple of years. I forget what the tweaks are, but they've kind of sped it up a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit more energy.
Oh, right by Iglesias. What happened there?
It was a rocket, and I don't know what happened, but it's a ball that Jose usually catches. He hit him right in the glove. Could have been knuckling, could have been doing anything, but Iglesias will tell you that's a ball that he usually catches, regardless of whether it goes as a hit or not.
He ruled that an error.
Yeah, but I've really enjoyed it. I've loved the energy. I've just loved the interaction. I thought that the changes they've made to the derbies made it a little bit more fun to watch.
I agree with that 100%. It was interminable, I should say, as we watched it a few years back. I remember in '05 when Comerica Park held it. This should be a double play, and it will, an easy one. It never ended. I mean, the first round never ended.
It was long. That was that year when Abreu hit a ton of home runs and Pudge Rodriguez hit a ton of home runs. I don't even think I finished watching the home run derby contest. I think I snuck to the house early that night.
But yeah, I think you're right. The tweets they've made have really made it very interesting. I still would like to see a skills competition during the All-Star weekend as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe base running. I'd love to see guys like Buxton and Hamilton and D. Gordon and those guys maybe run a 40-yard dash or something like that.
See how accurate the outfield arms are. Rajay Davis, hard ground ball to short, and that's going to get Liriano out of the inning. So, he dropped it.
Oh, no.
No, it's not going to get him out of the inning. A routine play, and it's dropped at first. Whew. Yikes.
Nico looking right into the that lighted area where that ball came from, right over the top of the Quicken Loans building where the Cavaliers play. If you watch that play again, and we'll go back to it, Nico, when that ball hit his glove, Mario, he wasn't looking at his glove. He was looking straight out into wherever he was looking, and that's what one of the things you have to do. You have to watch that ball into your glove. Take a look at this play right here when it gets over to the glove. Look where he's looking.
Oh,
are his eyes closed, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was a very good shot of it there. It's the third error of the game now for the Tigers. And again, it's going to add a few more pitches to the pitch count here, Liriano.
This one hasn't been cleanly played, and that's the one thing that you can't do here against the Cleveland Indians ball club. You can't give them extra outs.
Liriano survived a 40-pitch first inning. He had a very quick 1-2-3 second. Now 2 errors here in the third. Runner goes. Ball high. Throw down to second is not in time.
Rajay Davis, man, is a bona fide thief. He really is. 35 years old. Look at the jump. Tremendous jump. He's fearless.
Ball dropped down there at second.
Rajay's also mastered the art of knowing that when he does hit the dirt, because he's running so fast, that usually he's going to slide past the bag. So he simply grazes the top of the bag with a hand, keeps the thigh on the bag, and kind of holds on with his foot. Ricky Henderson used to do that very well, too. As a matter of fact, Rajay Davis said he learned how to really steal bases from Rajay Davis when he was playing for the Oakland Athletics, and Ricky would show up as a guest instructor every now and then.
Rajay, back in the month of May, stole his 400th career base.
He'll take third, too, if you don't watch him closely.
Single in the first inning for Geyer. Davis will certainly divide your attention. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and nothing comes of the 2 Tigers errors. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Here at Progressive Field and Friday, July 6th, Tigers take on the Rangers at 7:10. First 10,000 fans 21 and older receive a patriotic pitcher courtesy of Miller Lite. Stay after the game for the Buzz Game Friday night fireworks show. Go to Tigers.com for more ticket info. Trevor Bauer back to work as we go to the fourth inning. It'll be McCann, Jones, and Iglesias. Bauer had a 1-2-3 third. Swing and a miss. James was up there with the bases full in the first, and Bauer struck him out. Trevor had 5 punch outs already in this game. Oh, 0-2.
And Trevor is 11 of 15 in first pitch strikes, and then once he gets ahead of you, he just throws that breaking ball at a couple of different speeds. That was a little slower one that he was able to get James McCann to swing through. He's got that really hard biting breaking ball that he likes to get swings and misses on, usually with 2 strikes. There it was. James laid off of it. Amazing to me how this guy can go from 1 year with an 8 ERA against Tigers bats, and the following year maybe earned run average under 1 against Tiger bats.
Really won 17 games last year. Swing and miss, and there goes McCann again on strikes.
Well, we talked about the youngster Shane Bieber, and with all his swings and misses last night, Bauer is getting lots of swings and misses tonight.
Bieber 9 strikeouts in the ballgame last evening. Here is Jacoby Jones.
I cannot remember the last time I was as impressed with a pitcher. And 23 years old, making just his 3rd start in the major leagues to do what he did last night. I mean, there's other 23-year-olds in the league, but they've been in the league for a couple of years. This guy, 3rd start in.
Here's the 0-1 to Jacoby, who looks at a ball outside. I just was impressed with his demeanor last night. He just looked like he belonged, didn't he?
Yep. Looked like he'd been in the big leagues for 5 years.
Chopped the 3rd foul.
Did you see what the Indians starting pitchers numbers were coming in tonight? 5-game winning streak.
Pretty good.
0.52 ERA during the 5-game winning streak.
Whoa.
They've only given up 2 earned runs in now 35 innings. Check that, 37 innings. Their last 5 games, 2 earned runs in 37 innings. Sometimes you give up 2 earned runs in 1 inning.
Pitching coach Carl Willis. Mickey Callaway was here for a few years before that, and misses high.
Mickey probably wish he had that pitching coach's job back now.
It's getting a little rough in New York, isn't it?
You know it. New York Metropolitan. Taking a lot of heat over there.
That's 31 and 42 coming into today. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased up top. Time for a game break now. We check in with John Keating.
Stepping in now for the Tigers, number 1, Jose Iglesias.
Pretty impressive there. That's something he'll always remember. DTE Energy presents Know Your Own Power. On the heels of that grand slam by Anthony DeSclafani today, here are the other guys that have done it. Pitcher grand slams in history. Let's go back to 1892.
What do you got on Icebox Chamberlain?
Icebox Chamberlain.
His was an inside the park home run.
Were you there? How do you know? Did you see it?
No, they fed it to me. I can't even begin to tell that story.
Elton Icebox Chamberlain, to be exact. Here's the 0-2 now to Iglesias. Little chopper slowly left side. Going to be a tough play. Bobbled, no play. Gonzalez tried to barehand it. Base hit.
And nothing that Gonzalez can do here. It's a do-or-die play with Jose Iglesias running down the line. He just didn't, and barehanded cleanly. Therefore, there was not going to be a play. You saw him try to surround that ball to get the right angle so he could grab it and flip it over there, but he just couldn't do it. See Iglesias talking about that line drive off the bat of Ramirez. He was talking to Encarnacion. I could tell he was saying that ball was knuckling on him.
Here is Machado now with 2 outs. Dixon fan in the second. And gets out of the way of a ball inside, 1-0.
You have to believe that ball was doing something to Iglesias because he's pretty sure-handed at the shortstop position. He doesn't make many errors.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That infield single snaps a string of 8 straight or 6 straight retired by the right-hander Bauer, but he has 8 strikeouts in this game now. The 1-1, 2-1.
And Bauer also has 13 swings and misses in the game. And most of those have come on the breaking ball.
Bauer held the ball longer last time, trying to disrupt Iglesias at first. Flared in the air to center field for Rajai Davis. And that'll end the inning. Some special guests here at the ballpark tonight. Johnny Kane will catch up with them when we return. Top 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th now here in Cleveland. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Indians. Tigers run on 3 hits. Liriano has righted the ship, a 40-pitch first, then he threw 9 in the second, 12 in the third. So he's gotten himself straightened out, which is good news. We mentioned that Liriano scheduled between 75 and 85 pitches in that frame. We'll see how the rest of the ball game goes. Pulled foul. But he got so worrisome in the first inning that Arnie Lewicki was starting to warm up.
He probably had one more batter had he not gotten the final out of Perez to fly out the 8th batter of that inning. He probably would have gotten taken out.
Gipnis looks at a ball outside, thought about offering.
I think the most pitches I've ever seen any Tiger throw in any one inning, I believe it was Papa Grande. So 50 pitches, I believe. Now, I believe it was in this ballpark one night trying to get a save.
The 1-2. My mind tells me it was in Boston.
Yep, you're right.
It was at Fenway.
Yep, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'd never seen a guy get up to 50 in an inning. 2-2 is low, and so he's gone from 0-2 to a full count. Kipnis had a walk in the first. It was an ugly first. The Tigers gave up 2 walks, 2 wild pitches. There was an error thrown in. A 3-run first. Up and in, ball 4. So Kipnis will draw a walk. His second of the game. We check in now with Johnny Kane.
All right, guys, a couple of special visitors with us here. Lou and Cherie Harris, who made the drive from Erie, PA. Now, here's the story. Cherie, you were Dixon Machado's English teacher while he was in AA. How proud are you of this young man and what he's been able to accomplish now?
We're very proud of him. We always knew that he had an excellent work ethic, and if there was ever an opening, a spot for him, that he would be successful at the major league level. So we are so supportive and so excited and happy for him and his family.
He's got a beautiful family. We're going to get to that story in just a quick second. How much did he grow with learning the language and from the time you saw him? And I saw you visiting with him before the game.
He had already learned a lot of the social language because he was watching American soap operas.
Okay.
So basically we just had to work on some grammar, vocabulary, and we did a lot of reading and discussions on the mental aspects of baseball and different strategies on how to handle the baseball day and whatever might come your way. So that was the majority of our time when we were together in class.
Well, that's fantastic. You know, maybe some people at home don't understand how much goes into kind of raising a young man into becoming a big leaguer. And Lou, I know that you guys were very instrumental in helping not just Dixon, but his wife Teresa. And when they had their, you know, when they were building their family, you guys were taking his wife to different appointments and whatnot. And his boy, Tiago, was born on your birthday. There's a story behind this.
Well, Dixon had a road trip and asked if we volunteered to help him by taking his wife to the doctor's office for visits. Well, I got the job of doing it. So when I showed up and went in the doctor's office, the nurses and all the patients that were in there in the waiting room looked at me like, "You dirty old man." And I was, "No mas, no mas." So I'll let Cherie tell the rest of the story.
Okay. So they thought that maybe young Tiago was your son, which of course it was not. It was Dixon's son, but he said that you guys will always be linked with that story.
Yes, we will. Tiago was actually born August 19th, which was on Lou's birthday. So we were actually, I think, other than Dixon's mother and obviously Teresa, we were the first ones to see him at the hospital. So we've always remained close since then.
Well, that's outstanding. I know we had a chance to meet Tiago and his young daughter Mila now as the Tigers with an opportunity to turn 2 there. They get 1, but or did they get 2? They got 2. We had a chance to meet him over Father's Day as well. So Dixon and Teresa, and also with Tiago and Mila. So a beautiful family. We appreciate you guys being there every step to help him get that far. And Lou, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. All right, guys, we'll go back upstairs. Takes a village.
It does indeed, Johnny. Thanks so much. And sometimes you don't realize how much of an acclamation it takes for these young Latin players to come over to the States and play. And it's always good to have a nice support system here.
You know, it's also wonderful for, you know, the American players, not just the Latin players, but the American players at the lower levels that are 16, 17, 18 years old to leave home. And you go to these cities, Mario, and you can live with the families. And I mean, they take care of you. I mean, they love baseball. They know you're on your own for your very first time, and they help you from making some crucial mistakes in life.
It's flared to shallow right field. Tough play. Castellanos runs it down, and the inning is over. No runs, a walk, and nobody left. Dixon Machado with his family in tow. Your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Tigers still trying to get the bats going here. They've been able to scratch in a run. That came on a wild pitch in the second. Now Bauer goes back to work here in the fifth. Top of the order coming up is Leonis Martin, who bunts. Bauer is off to make the play, and he throws him out. It was going to take a really good play by Bauer, and he made one.
And Bauer jumped off the mound, anticipating that Leonis might try to bunt. He didn't get it down the third base line as far as he wanted to, but once he backhanded it, he grabbed that ball and he fired a seed over to Encarnacion.
We'll bring up Jeimer Candelario, who has fanned twice in this game. Jeimer now is 0 for 6 in the series. Even with the bag at third is Gonzalez, respecting the possibility of a bunt. Jeimer's average now is down to 246.
Good changeup there thrown by Trevor. Hasn't thrown many changeups tonight, but that was a good one. And he's got them all working tonight.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Candelario. Got him, strike three, and Candy does not like it. Now his frustrations boiling over a little bit with Quinn Walcott, who barks right back at him.
He threw Candy everything. He threw him a fastball, threw him a slider, threw him a changeup, and then he finished him off with a fastball. Actually, that was a changeup.
How's that a strike?
Because Quinn Walcott continues to give Perez those strikes.
I mean, it was
low. There's no doubt about that.
You can understand a little glove work there. I mean, that's part of the game, but that one was yanked back up into the zone.
Yeah, but there's been several today already that several Tigers hitters have beefed about the glove of Perez and the fact that Quinn Walcott continues to allow him to deceive him by pulling that glove back in the strike zone.
9 strikeouts for Bauer, who, by the way, has gone 10 or more in 4 of his last 5 starts. It looks like he's going to get there again tonight. Castellanos a walk and a fly ball.
Yeah, that's 9 strikeouts, and we're just in the 5th inning.
No. He had 12 strikeouts the last time he faced the Tigers. That was back at Comerica. He's gone 3-0 now on Castellanos.
Second time today he's gone 3-0 on Nicholas. He walked Nick his first time up today.
Ooh, Nick, green lighting on 3-0. That ball was up. 3-1. There's a walk, so Castellanos aboard again. Well, enjoy an exclusive evening with the 2018 Hall of Fame inductees Alan Trammell and Jack Morris at a special celebration dinner Thursday, August 9th. It's at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Select ticket packages include a private meet and greet, commemorative gift, and more. If you'd like tickets, go to tigers.com/HOF dinner and spend a night with Tram and Jack. Got a few stories between them.
Yes, they do. A lot of them they can't tell either. Not to the general public.
We've heard a few of them, but they're not airable.
Nope.
Here's Vmart. Big swing there by Victor. Flying to right field in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2.
And all of a sudden here in the 5th inning, Bauer has thrown a lot more changeups. I mean, pretty much through the first 4 innings, it was the fastball, the slider, and the curveball. And now all of a sudden he's thrown a few changeups. I want the curveball here. Oh, man. Goodness. Man, does he drop that thing in there nicely. That's a beautiful pitch. I mean, beautiful pitch.
Bauer has been about 30% curveball this year. So he throws it a lot. 0-2. Still can't get over how deeply Kipnis is playing at second base. I mean, we've seen guys that are maybe 5, 6, 7 feet to the outfield grass.
Yep.
He is way out there.
Yeah, I think the main reason for that is the fact that at age 39, Victor doesn't run well. So he's buying himself just a little bit more space to move laterally to the left or the right should Victor hit something in his direction.
And again, the 0-2. Rolled foul.
I saw a shift a couple of days ago where the Houston Astros against one of those guys, either Gallo or Mazzara, they had Mario everybody. The entire infield, the left fielder was over in right center field. The center fielder was over there. The right fielder was over there. And then all 4 of the infielders, every last player was on the right side of the field.
They've done that a couple times this year. I think it's against Gallo.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, the left fielder was over in right center field. I've never seen a shift to that extreme.
No. What did he end up doing?
I don't know. He probably popped up or something. Or he might have hit it out of the ballpark because them boys are strong.
Runner going and a bouncing ball foul. Castellanos was on the move. The thing about this shift here is now if a ground ball is hit to Kipnis, and we've talked about this before,
right?
That is not a normal throw for him.
Nope, it's not.
Or any second baseman. A, you're fielding the ball on grass, and B, it's an awkward throw.
And especially if it's one that's a few feet away from the first baseman, that makes him go far enough to where he can't get back. And then all of a sudden your pitcher has to cover first base. That's really a difficult throw in.
Got him, strike 3. Martinez caught looking, and Bauer marches off the mound with his 10th strikeout. Francisco Lindor will lead things off for the Indians.
Liriano, making his first start since May 26 in the majors. Gave up 3 hits in the very first frame. Needed 40 pitches to get out of the inning. But then he settled in innings 2, 3, and 4. Didn't give up much more. Double play there turned nicely by the infielder. So Liriano settled in, but not after giving up those 3 first-inning runs. Let's hope that they don't stand up here tonight.
A 40-pitch first inning. He ended up throwing 39 strikes. Small side windows pitching change now. It's going to be Alex Wilson coming out of the bullpen.
And Wilson checks in with a 3.96 ERA, 17 strikeouts. He's only walked 8. And Willie pitching in his 24th game this year. Spent a little time on the disabled list.
A plantar fascia strain put him on the DL. Top of the order coming up now is Lindor, Brantley, and Ramirez. 3-1 Indians lead.
Now, what's the difference between fascia and fasciitis, or is there a such thing as fasciitis?
I think the plantar fascia is the actual. Now we're going to get 1,000 tweets on this correcting me.
Well, don't answer then. Don't even answer then. Don't even do it then.
I'm going to give it a shot. Plantar fasciitis is actually the injury, where the plantar fascia is the actual part of your body. It's an anatomical part of your foot.
I'll go with that until I get a tweet on it.
But the fasciitis is the actual injury. You will be corrected soon. 0-2 the count on Lindor. A little hit back out of play and into the seats. Lindor singled in the first to the infield variety and eventually scored one of the 3 runs. The Tribe got all 3 of their runs in the first.
Who is going to make the All-Star team as a shortstop this year?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's so many really good shortstops. Some of those guys will go on vacation.
Just got a piece of it.
Last checked, I believe Manny Machado was leading the All-Star voting. But you got Lindor, you got Correa, you got a number of guys.
Yeah, Machado further muddled the shortstop position by moving to shortstop this year from third base. Here's the 0-2. A little bit outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And there's the leaders. Jose Ramirez, his partner in crime, is at third base. There's Machado, Altuve, Abreu. It's a pretty good list. JD Martinez, the DH right now. It's a potent offense.
Off the plate, and now 2-2 on Lindor.
American League pitching staff's going to have some power arms on it too.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Verlander, Kluber, Strasburg, Chapman, Severino.
Belted to right field. That ball is on a line, and that ball is gone.
He's so special.
Lindor hits his 2nd home run of the series. That one was a bullet to right field.
I mean, that ball appeared to be up in the strike zone as well. Most left-handers, especially guys that aren't 6 feet, they just love the ball down. But he appeared to pull his hands up top, and he absolutely hit an absolute seed out of the ballpark. A line drive. Look at where that ball was. It was 86. It was up. It was out of the strike zone. I did not realize it was that high.
Stayed fair, and Lindor has his 18th home run. Bouncing ball to third, fielded by Candelario, and Brantley is out.
And when you hit a home run and you hit it as hard as Francisco does, man, you got real good balance. That front foot gets down. It's firm. You've got the weight transfer. You can draw a line right down the center of his body from the middle of the cap to the ground. It's a good balanced swing by the talented shortstop.
Now Ramirez. 4-1, the Indians have scored for the first time since the first inning. Ramirez batting lefty for the first time, looks at a strike. And now he's going to beef with Quinn Walcott.
Ramirez, and we talked about this briefly last night, with all the power numbers, all the doubles, all the extra base damage that he's already done this year. He's got a great eye. He's struck out 39 times this year, but he's walked 49 times. So he has walked more than he has struck out, doing all that damage with the bat. You'd be hard pressed to find many more guys like that with these kind of numbers.
Pretty clear who last time the Tigers were avoiding trying to deal with, and that was Ramirez.
And it was from the word go. The very first inning, they made a conscious effort that they were not going to pitch to Ramirez yesterday.
How about this? He's been on base now for a career high 30 straight games.
16 extra base hits, a .419 on base percentage during that streak. But we did talk about Ramirez and the way that you do get him out. If you're fortunate, you have to go down at the bottom of the strike zone. He does not like the ball down as much as he likes the ball up, which is pretty rare for lefties. Looks like they're going to try to go down.
Ramirez last year third in the MVP voting behind Altuve and Judge.
He'll be up there again this year.
He had 56 doubles last season for the Tribe. Got him, strike three. Ramirez with a crooked look as he goes back to the bench.
That's good fastball by Alex. He went down with the previous pitch at 93 outside. He came right back with another 93. Now this one painted the inside corner, and Ramirez couldn't pull the bat off the shoulder, but the key to the pitch is the fact that it was down. He does not like the ball down.
Encarnacion, the batter. Single and a double play ball. The 1-0. Encarnacion now has 4 RBIs in the series, knocked in 3 last night.
And playing Encarnacion to pull on the infield.
Three-time All-Star, most of his damage done with the Toronto Blue Jays. In fact, he led the American League in RBIs just 2 years ago.
Cincinnati Reds basically gave him away a few years back when they traded him to Toronto for Scott Rowland at the time.
Did he go? Yes.
Rowland was a good third baseman. It was a tail end of his career. And Encarnacion was just getting started.
Two and two on Encarnacion. Got him, strike 3. So Willie comes back with a couple of punch outs. James McCann, well, he's one proud Razorback these days, and we'll explain why when we come back. Brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Back here in Cleveland, where the Indians are leading 4-1, the Lindor home run has lengthened their lead on a spectacular night here in Cleveland. Nico Goodrum, James McCann, Jacoby Jones in the Tigers' 6th. 10 strikeouts so far tonight for Bauer, who has thrown 95 pitches. That ball drilled to center, but straight at Rajay Davis. 1 pitch, 1 out. How about we go back to college, courtesy of Nissan, as Mr. McCann walks to the plate. You know why he's got his chest pumped out these days?
Why is that?
Check this out.
Uh-oh.
Arkansas in the College World Series. He is a proud Razorback.
Oh, well, they're going up against a tough squad in the Florida Gators.
Indeed. Oregon State and Mississippi State. Oregon State number 3. Oregon State defeated Mississippi State 12-2, so they face elimination tonight. Nothing beats the College World Series.
It's a wonderful atmosphere. There's no doubt about that.
Boys, if I could jump in here, you know, Arkansas is in, so awaiting the winner of Mississippi State or Oregon State. Of course, Oregon State is Matthew Boyd's team, but you know, James McCann said that was one of the highlights of his college career, was being able to play in Omaha. Of course, they went back in 2009, so we could be setting up for an all-Tiger final there, where you've got the James McCann's Razorbacks and Matthew Boyd's Beavers from Oregon State.
Oh, there's going to have to be a wager or two put on that.
I would imagine something.
You know, it's going to be a wager or two.
A little trash talking.
That too.
You know, for years they played at Rosenblatt Stadium there, and now they're at the new TD Ameritrade Park, which is a fabulous ballpark.
Yeah, I played in Rosenblatt quite a bit. The Omaha Royals used to play there.
Did they?
Yeah.
There's a strike called on Mack. Of course, next year the Tigers will be playing the Royals in a game around the College World Series to help celebrate that event. Here's Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, I talked to Matt a little bit earlier today, and he said, you know, it was the coaches at Oregon State. He said those are like dads to me. He said that's what really they really implemented in me, that family culture. So he's pulling hard for his boys tonight, that's for sure.
Pretty cool. Fun time of the year for baseball with the College World Series. Draft just completed.
Boyd's going to get the ball tomorrow, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Yeah.
McCann has fanned twice in this game. He'll loop this one in the air toward left center field. Davis on the run. And there are 2 gone here in the 6th. So with his pitch count again over 100, every start now this year for Bauer has gone 100 or better. And tonight he is 17 of 24 on first pitch strikes. Jacoby has an infield single, steal, and a run scored. The only Tigers run so far. 0-2. Back up the middle and a diving try, but Kipnis can't get it. It'll be a 2-out single for Jones.
Second time that Jacoby's gotten a base hit in the direction of Jason Kipnis that he's had to leave his feet on. It's an encouraging sign for Jacoby to stay on the baseball that way and drive the ball the opposite direction, especially as many high fastballs as Jacoby has been swinging at. Our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Trevor Bauer tonight, 96 with his fastball. And he's gone as low as 77 with that curveball. He'll also throw that curveball at about 82 miles an hour. So 77 to 82 with the curveball, lots of different speeds.
Now Iglesias. Runner goes. That's fouled back out of play.
And it looked like Jacoby had that base stolen. And before Iglesias swung at the first pitch and fouled it straight back. Jacoby already has 1 steal tonight. Had a good jump. It's a straight steal.
Tigers now have 41 stolen bases as a team, which is well ahead of their pace from last year at this time.
Did they even steal 41 as a team last year?
I'll have to look that up, but they
bet it's close.
They're running a whole lot more.
Bet it's close.
Runner goes again. Here's the throw down to second. The tag. Got him. What a tag down there by Kipnis to end the inning. Jones not going anywhere. See if the Tigers want to look at it. But a great throw by Perez. And Gardy is holding things up here. And they're going to wave it off. So Perez cuts down Jones. That'll end the inning.
And Jacoby Jones, when he got back to the dugout, he was upset. I guess Ron Dardenhire decided not to challenge at second base, and I don't know exactly why he's so fired up, but man, he's not happy right now.
Well, I think he obviously thought he was safe on that play. It was bang bang. Tigers decided not to go for it. And now Naquin is going to pinch hit. His first at bat of the night. Tyler Naquin hit in the ball game last night. Started in center field, had a single, scored 2 runs. Looks like Chisenhall's gone on deck.
Apparently Terry Francona, man, he plays a straight platoon with Naquin and Chisenhall with Geyer and Rajay Davis. Both guys started the game against the left-hander.
Davis and Geyer both out of the game now. 4-1 Indians lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Lofted in the air towards center field. Martinez on the run, still going back to the warning track. Naquin is out, 1 away. Now the next pinch hitter, Lonnie Chisenhall, will bat for Geyer. So Naquin will stay in the game and play center, and Chisenhall will play right. Lonnie at 317 this year has been bothered the last couple of years with a calf injury. He'll sky that one in the air toward left. Jones cruising back, and 2 quick fly ball outs. Wilson came out in the 5th inning, surrendered the Lindor homer as the first batter he faced, but since has retired 5 in a row. Is that a burger?
It looks like a burger. It's thick, I know that much.
Is that pretzel bun too?
What's he got on it?
I don't know.
You know what? It's good to see this ballpark full, though. I mean, there's many times we've come here the last couple of years, and the Indians have had a really good team, but the fans hadn't gotten behind them. But they've gotten behind them this weekend.
Yeah, they certainly have. With the Tigers in town, they've been loaded up here and will be all 3 games.
Good to see the ballpark full. Not a seat to be had.
Slapped out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Indians are starting to play better baseball, and that's probably one of the reasons they've come out. Of course, the fireworks never hurt. That always fills up a ballpark. Kipnis has walked twice in this game. Off the inside part of the plate. Into the glove, foul tip for strike 3 to end the inning. When we come back, John Keating will talk about some of the craziest ballpark food after this. Come on. Come on, Keats. That's not real.
Absolutely not.
I love Faedo. What do they come up with next?
I don't know, but man, oh man.
Ugh, it don't look all that pretty, Jonathan. You might, John, you might find out that your kids know some words that you didn't think they knew.
Junior, who taught you that? The sugar did, Mommy. Well, we went there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, man. All right. No nerds on hot dogs. Iglesias getting things started here. Trevor Bauer, by the way, is still out there. He's thrown 108 now as he starts things off here in the 7th inning.
The Indians are starting to get concerned with the amount of innings and pitches thrown by their starting pitching, and Trevor Bauer is right up there at the top of them as far as pitches thrown so far this season. Mario brought it up earlier. Every single game he's over 100. Today's going to be at 115 before he leaves, maybe more.
Oh man, Iglesias is caught looking.
He's dirty, man. His stuff is, he's good. I mean, he really is. And to watch him have turned the corner from one year to the next. I mean, he won 17 games last year, but he still didn't have success against the Tigers last season. He is looking to beat the Tigers for the 4th time this year.
Naquin stays in the game in center. Chisenhall is in right. He has gone as many as 127 pitches this year. Chopper left side and going to get through. Base hit. Dixon Machado with a 1-out single. And there's his host family from the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Fired up.
Proud.
It's going to be it for Bauer.
Of his 11 strikeouts today for Bauer, 5 of those were looking. 6 swinging strikes.
It's going to be a big round of applause here for Trevor Bauer as he walks off.
Bauer, he was on one again here tonight. He has dominated the Tiger bat so far this year. He's had 4 starts against him and really has just, he punched out 12 the last time he saw the Tigers. That was a couple of weeks ago. He punched out 11 here tonight. A lot of them on the fastball, a lot of them on that curveball. Trevor Bauer pitching like an all-star. He walked 2 tonight, 11 punch outs, 5 hits, 112 pitches in 6 1/3. He was 21 of 27 in first pitch strikes. Another outstanding outing by Trevor.
Wall side windows, pitching change. Oliver Perez, the veteran lefty, comes in.
And Oliver has kind of helped stabilize the bullpen of the Cleveland Indians. A 129 earned run average. He's been in 8 games now. This is number 9.
Bauer had 19 swings and misses in this game tonight.
Very impressive.
Now it's up to the bullpen. Martin is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. (1-0). Leonis fouls it back out of play. 1-1. Perez last couple of years operating out of the Washington bullpen, made quite a few appearances with them. Was released this year by the Yankees. It was in June, and then signed up with the Indians. Early part of June. Strike on the outer edge to Martin, who continues to have issues with the Quinn Walcott strike zone. Candelario waiting on deck. Didn't go. 2-2 the count. Perez last year out of the bullpen for Washington stranded 30 of 35 inherited runners for about 86%. Been around the big league scene since 2002.
He gives them a different look in the bullpen. Of course, they've got Andrew Miller. Once he's healthy, he throws 93 to 96. But you've got Miller, who could be that first left-hander out of the bullpen. He's tough on lefties, and he really throws nothing straight. Lots of off-speed stuff.
Now 3-2.
And Cleveland had a right-hander in their bullpen. Joe Smith, he threw from down under, right?
He did.
Yeah, they had Joe Smith in their bullpen for a number of years, but they've never had a left-hander that kind of throws from this sidearm arm slot. And we're starting to see more and more of these guys, especially on the winning teams. I think some of those general managers are starting to understand that it's not all good to have everybody in your bullpen that throws 95 miles an hour.
Bouncing ball deep in the hole. Lindor, great play, throws to second to get the force there.
Oh, he stole a hit there from Martin. Stole a hit. And no way he's going to throw out Martin at first base, but he knows he has a play at second and simply grabs it with the backhand, turns the body, and then gives a firm feed to Jason Kipnis.
Here is Candelario. Chamber trying to turn his night around. He is 0 for 3.
Chamber's been striking out a lot lately.
He's got 3 of them tonight. Four in the series.
Punched out a few times in the series as well. A couple of times in the Cincinnati series.
Indians got 3 in the first. Tigers got 1 in the second. Then Lindor homered in the 5th. That made it a 4-1 ball game.
Yeah, Perez has that real slow, deliberate leg kick that he can decide what to do. He brings his leg up so slow that he could decide to go home or he can decide to go to first base if he sees that you're looking to steal a base. It's not the easiest thing to do, but Perez is one that can do it because he brings the leg up so slow most of the time. He gave him a different look that time.
Perez is 36 years old, born in Culiacan, Mexico.
Culiacan.
Did you play any winter ball in Mexico?
Pardon me?
Did you play any winter ball in Mexico?
Oh, absolutely. Several winners.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second, not in time. And a stolen base for Martin.
Even though the Tigers have trailed all night here tonight, they have been very aggressive on the base paths. Now, there's a steal here by Martin. Jacoby Jones stole a base earlier. Jacoby also was thrown out once. So they continue to run the bases aggressively. Yeah, I played in Hermosillo one year, which was a really nice city. I played in Navajo and Obregon. So I played in Mexico 3 different off seasons in 3 different spots.
Now the 1-2.
When you were young, they sent all the young high school players to Mexico so you can learn how to hit a breaking ball, a good breaking ball. Because most college kids, I mean, they learned how to hit good breaking balls in college. But I mean, if you're in high school like I was and you got drafted, you didn't see many good breaking balls. So once you got in the pro ball, you saw those first 2 sliders and you're like, what in the world?
Swing and a miss, and the tough night got tougher. 4 strikeouts for Candelario, and a great play by Lindor as well. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. 4-1, the Indians have the lead. They have led all night long as we go to the bottom of the 7th here in Cleveland. Here is Menard's big money encounter. The Indians in their 5-game winning streak. Rod, these numbers starting to pile up now.
Yeah, plus 32 as far as the run differential is concerned. They're averaging nearly 8 runs a game, and we talked about their starters earned run average. Look at it, 0.52, and it went down here today because Bauer only gave up 1 run in his 7 innings. Unbelievable.
Tigers go to the bullpen again. Wallside Windows pitching change. It'll be Lewis Coleman.
And Lewis Coleman's done some nice work since coming up from the minor leagues. And pitching in his 18th game, a .229 earned run average. He's a veteran of several minor league seasons, the majority of those with the Kansas City Royals.
Roberto Perez will lead it off for the Indians. A strike called on Perez. Fly ball and a double play in this game. That'll sail offside. "13 appearances with the Mud Hens this year, notching 8 saves, Coleman. Now the 1-1 to Perez. Indians, since the All-Star break last year, are 53-21 at home. Now again, we talk about that 22-game win streak they had last year, which is a big part of it. but they certainly have taken care of home field advantage. And they've done pretty well against the Central this year, 23-13 against teams within their division. 3-1 on Perez. 3-2. Tigers wrap it up tomorrow here. Then they're home for just 4 games. The A's will come to town. Our first look at Oakland's ball club. Then right back on the road. Chopper to the shortstop, Iglesias. 1 away here in the 7th. Well, it's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Eric Gonzalez will stand in. Slice to center, base hit. 1 out single for the Indians. Top of the order now, Francisco Lindor will stroll in. Indians now have 6 hits. Well, it was looking early tonight, Rod, like the Tigers were going to have to go to the bullpen in the 1st inning. So at least Liriano was able to give him 4 tonight.
Yeah, he threw 40 pitches in the very first frame, and Ron Gardenhire said yesterday and also before the game they wanted to get him to 75 to 80 pitches. So it was looking like they were going to have to dip into that bullpen. It was going to be a bullpen day, but thank goodness Liriano straightened it out in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings.
Lindor homered in his last at bat, 2 out of 3.
7 major league seasons under his belt. And does Lewis Coleman have? Kansas City, Los Angeles, Detroit.
Lindor buckles out of the way. Crowd tonight 34,435. And they'll have another big one tomorrow for the matinee.
Good breaking ball there thrown by Lewis. Got Lindor to swing right over the top of it.
Now the 2-1. Hopped up. Left side of the infield. It's going to be Iglesias. 2 gone. That'll leave it up to Michael Brantley.
And Lindor not happy with himself. Last time we saw Lindor, he was pretty much clean shaven, wasn't he? Gotten some hair back now.
Yeah, he shaved his head after promising his high school team if they went undefeated, he would shave his head.
He's hot, isn't he? He's not happy he popped that ball up.
Brantley looks at a strike.
And the few times I have seen the young man not smiling.
He's still breathing fire.
Oh, he's hot. And you like his competitive fire.
Brantley with a walk. He is 0 for 2 otherwise. Well, Lindor, despite that pop-up, has had a good day. Coleman taking too long. Tigers out of the bullpen today with Wilson, who came on in the 5th, gave the Tigers 2 innings. Coleman here in the 7th. It'll curl low, 2-1 on Brantley.
He tried to wrap that breaking ball around the outside corner. Couldn't get the call from Quinn Walcott. Down.
Strike call, 2-2 on Brantley.
Came back to the exact same pitch. That one a little higher. And Brantley with a little smile on his face. Apparently he wasn't liking that call. A lot of crooked looks today for Quinn Walcott.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And really it started in the very first inning.
Yep, the first strikeout of the game.
Flared in the air to shallow left center. It's going to be Jones calling and catching to end the inning. 7 in the books. Indians with the lead. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Four to 1 is our score. Here's the Ram Pick the Stick update. And well, I'm struggling tonight. I got to be honest with you. -4. Jamer has fanned 4 times tonight, but really not a whole lot else going on.
It's been a slow trip as far as pick the stick numbers are concerned. And we were slow in Cincinnati, and been slowed down here as well.
Well, let's see if we can pick up the pace here. Neil Ramirez has come on now in a wall side windows pitching change.
And 15 games for Neil Ramirez, who has also helped stabilize the bullpen along with Oliver Perez. Since these two guys came to their roster, their bullpen is a lot better. 2.77 ERA for Ramirez, 12 strikeouts. He's only walked 3.
So the 8th inning will be his. It'll be Castellanos, Martinez, and Goodrum in a 4-1 ball game. And Nick looks at a strike, 0-1. Oliver Perez came on in the 7th after the single by Machado and got the final 2 outs in that inning. Nick has walked twice in this game. Out of play, 0-2.
And 95 with that fastball from Neil at the top of the strike zone.
Tigers at 3, 4, and 5 coming up in this inning. They got their only run in the 2nd. Swing and a miss, and Castellanos is hot on strikes. Man,
It's nasty.
13 strikeouts for the Tribe pitching staff tonight. 11 of those for Bauer. Now Victor Martinez. Mark slams it down the left field line, headed back to the corner, and it's going to be caught. It stayed in play as Brantley ran it down. 2 gone.
And Brantley, good left fielder. He's battled some injuries the last couple of years. He's only played a little over 100 games the last 2 seasons combined. But he's healthy again. The bat's good and the legs are good.
Nico Goodrum hit by a pitch in the first, otherwise 0 for 2. Well, I know we say this many times, but when you face a really good pitcher and you have early chances to score, which the Tigers did tonight, you got to get them.
Yes, you do.
They loaded the bases in the first inning, but McCann struck out to leave it full.
Yeah, Bauer walked one in the first. He also hit a batter. He was behind many of the batters.
I would imagine this Cleveland bullpen has to go out and find some help for their pen before the trade deadline. And that is certainly one of their big needs right now.
I'm sure they will. I mean, because it's looking like they're probably going to win the division. They were picked to win the division. As a matter of fact, they were picked to go deep in the postseason this year. But they're not going to do it unless they do pick up some bullpen help. Although their starters are really, really good.
2-out walk for Goodrum. Ramirez issuing the free pass, and that'll bring up James McCann. McCann 0 for 3. All 3 of those at bats versus Bauer.
The Indians pretty much have made a big move every single year the last couple of years. 2 years ago they brought in Andrew Miller, and then last year they brought in Jay Bruce, right?
They did, and he was instrumental down the stretch for them.
He really was. So they'll make a move.
Nico back in, standing up. Keep hearing that Shane Bieber, who pitched last night, is among the topics of conversation for other teams that are calling the Indians.
I'd have a tough time giving him up for a bullpen rental.
Oh, no doubt. A young, controllable pitcher.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
Swing and a miss.
There are already, I don't know if you saw this earlier, but there are already 3 teams with 50 or more wins in the big leagues. The Astros, Boston, and the Yankees. It's the fastest in the history of the game. There's been 3 teams with 50 wins on June 22nd.
Now they go 1 pitch. Boston has 51 victories. New York at 50, as you mentioned, and Houston as well. You got
and Seattle ain't far behind,
no,
are they?
Seattle's got 46.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, 0-2 on McCann. Indians lead 4-1. We're in the 8th. Cleveland did the majority of their scoring with 3 in the first. Another throw back. It's funny how guys can come out of nowhere and help out a big league club. We talked about Perez, who was released by the Yankees, and he's been key, and Ramirez kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Non-roster invitee, who was invited to camp as a minor leaguer, and here he is. Swing and a miss. McCann, flat-footed swing, strikes out. His 14th strikeout now for Cleveland tonight. Beautiful night here in Cleveland. The Indians lead 4-1. Game 2 in this series, which means Game 3 is coming up tomorrow. The pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Adam Plutko will go for the Tribe, and Matthew Boyd for the Tigers.
And Boyd will be looking to get back on track after only pitching 4 innings in his last outing against the Cincinnati Reds. Matthew checks in with a 3.63 ERA, 64 strikeouts. Only .211 is the batting average against Matthew. He's been good most of the year.
Well, the Tigers getting some work now for Joe Jimenez, who will pitch the 8th inning.
And Ron Gardenhire doesn't like to use Joe in situations where he's not getting the ball to Shane Green, but he has to use him today.
That ball lifted in the air down the right field line, going toward the corner. Castellanos can't get there, but it's a foul ball.
Nicholas ran a mile for that ball that stayed up in the air a long time. He had to be playing Ramirez way over in the right center field gap.
Jimenez has had a whale of a month of June. He has been as good as anybody in baseball.
And the start that he got off to, I mean, the first 3 weeks of the season, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. That's how bad he was.
1 ball and 1 strike. Cody Allen up in the Indians pen. Ramirez a single and an RBI in this game, 1 for 3.
Do you have like a someone on another team that you just enjoy watching play?
Yeah, there are a lot of guys in the league that I enjoy watching play. You know, the guy here at shortstop, Lindor, I really enjoy his enthusiasm for the game.
I love watching this guy play right here, Ramirez.
Ramirez?
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys to watch on an opposing team. I mean, just love the way that he goes about his business. Switch hitter, third baseman. He's only made 3 errors, I believe, all season. He might win a Gold Glove this year, too. Their left side of the infield is intact for a number of years. Ramirez is signed through 2025. Ramirez, well, They're still waiting to back up that big Brinks truck. Lindor, they're still waiting to back up that Brinks truck in his backyard.
It's going to have the beeper going as it backs in.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a whole lot of money going to fall out of that truck. 2-2 on Ramirez. Encarnacion will be next. It'll dart low and in, and the count goes full now, 3-2.
And Ramirez struck out his last time up on a good fastball inside. He took it for strike 3. And that was against Alex Wilson.
Big swing there by Ramirez. There's Cody Allen, their closer.
Apparently he needs a little work too.
Three and two on Ramirez. Fouled again. Barely staying alive. It's been an 8-pitch at bat now for Ramirez. Line toward left field. Jones on the run. One gone. Well, the bright spot for the Tigers bullpen this month has been the back end. These two guys certainly have been bullpen bullies.
Yeah, they just have to figure out a way to get the ball to them a little bit more consistently. They have not been able to do that in the 2 games in Cincinnati and the first game here last night.
Joe has not given up an earned run all month. Saw the 6-8 for Shane Green. Here's Encarnacion. RBI single in the first inning. Ground ball short. Iglesias to his right. Encarnacion is out of there. 2 gone. Here are the due-ups facing Cody Allen. You got the bottom 3. Jones, Iglesias, and Machado are due in the Tigers 9.
And speaking of Shane Green, I was listening to he and Nicholas Castellanos a little bit earlier today. They have a podcast, and they had Victor Martinez as their guest today. And they were kind of talking about what we talked about at home before we left on going on the road trip. But we're actually on the road about our favorite cities to go to. And they pretty much had some of the same likes as we have on the road. Chicago came up a bunch. San Francisco came up. You have Frisco on your list.
A lot of the West Coast cities are really neat. You mentioned San Diego, which is just a stunning city.
Well, you can't go wrong there.
But it's always interesting to see how players' opinions are shaped. Whether or not they like pitching in a certain ballpark might have something to do with that.
It's funny how a lot of the choices had to do something about the play on the field. Not so
really?
much what's going on
Yeah.
outside. But Nicholas just says he loves Chicago in the summertime. Smart man.
1 ball, 1 strike on Naquin.
That podcast apparently is very popular, I've been told. Have you listened to it at all?
I've listened to a little of the first episode and was very impressed with how it sounded. Now, that is a lot of work. Those podcasts are a lot of work.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
I guess anything that you could do at this level, man, to take your mind off the game is a good thing, because it's so hard, man. 162 games a year to spend as much time as they do doing what they do. You need an outlet. You really do need something else that you could do to take your mind off the baseball games. That's why a lot of guys play instruments on the road. Have guitars and whatnot.
The 1-2. And down he goes. Dinkwood is out of there. 1-2-3 inning for Joe Jimenez. We'll go to the 9th. Cody Allen will come in for the Indians, and Jose Iglesias due up second for the Tigers.
Nope, no sightings tonight.
Well, not
yet.
Just yet. Let's see.
Yet.
Cody Allen coming on now.
And Cody has only blown one save this year. And he is averaging over 1 strikeout per game that he's pitched in. A 3.86 ERA as well for the back end of that bullpen. One of the two-headed monsters that Francona has at the back end, along with Andrew Miller.
It'll be Jones, Iglesias, Machado, bottom 3 for the Tigers. Need some base runners right now.
In many ways, Cody Allen in the last couple of years has kind of taken a back seat to Andrew Miller in that bullpen. All Miller has done and the amount of work that Miller has pitched in. But he made Cody better.
Allen this year, because of the absence of Miller, has had to go multiple innings or more than one to try and record some saves this year. He's gone ahead 0-2, trying to go up top now to Jacoby, and he wouldn't chase.
And Cody's got to be coming up on free agency really soon too, so the Indians are going to have to make some decisions here. Miller's a free agent after this year is over. Allen is going to be a free agent soon. Brantley is a free agent after this year is over. This is an important year for them, I would say, as a team, if they're going to keep everybody together.
2-2 the count on Jacoby. 2 singles, steal, run scored. Fouled away.
Looks like Jacoby's been trying to hit everything to right field today. All of his swings have indicated to me that he's really concentrating on staying on the baseball and not pulling off the ball.
Ramirez had a scoreless 8th. Perez came out in the 7th. Swing and a miss, and Jones down on strikes.
To the plate now for the Tigers, number 1, Jose Iglesias.
15 strikeouts now for Cleveland pitching tonight. And Tigers Indians tomorrow afternoon. Coverage begins at noon with Tigers Live right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Tigers and Tribe wrap it up.
Tigers have to somehow figure out a way to win at least one game here in Cleveland, which would push the road trip to 4-4, which doesn't sound all that great because they won the first 3. But in the grand scheme of things, if you'd have told the Tigers and going to these 3 stops would they like to come home 4-4, they would have taken that.
Absolutely.
They would have taken it. They won't say it now because they won the first 3.
Yeah.
But when you leave home, if you come back 500, that's not a bad trip.
No, especially for as poorly as the Tigers have played on the road this year. Iglesias.
They've been leaving the strike zone a little bit more often on this road trip than they have pretty much all year.
1-2. Cody Allen got the call on the outside part of the plate. Bauer had 11 of the 15 strikeouts tonight for the Tribe staff. That one a little bit outside. 2-2.
You just have to always bring your A game when you're going up against this Cleveland team because they don't make mistakes defensively. I mean, they field their position. They got really good starting pitching. They get timely hitting. You got to be on point if you're going to beat them in this yard.
Pulled foul. Allen has had a couple of tough outings in the month of June. His ERA is over 7 this month. Swing and a miss, and Iglesias, who never strikes out, is fanned twice tonight.
16 strikeouts tonight. My goodness.
Two gone now, and it's up to Dixon Machado. Single for 3, and Machado looks at the ball low.
Tigers almost 2 strikeouts every inning tonight, with the exception of a couple.
Fly ball, right field should do it. And the Indians have won the first 2 games in this series. Stay tuned. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios coming up after this break.